Hello and welcome to Trashy Trashy, where we take a dumpster dive on this week's garbage people and a look at all the trashiest news stories. My name is Erica and I'm your host.
My name is Cassandra and I'm your other host. Wow, welcome back, me again.
Welcome back, you again. Guys, the podcast schedule, sometimes it's a mystery. Sometimes lost audio is found.
I loved it, you know. I thought that the last week's episode was super funny. So I'm glad that it resurfaced.
I think last week's episode was more like competitive couples therapy or something. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna attack. Can I have a pig? Would you push me down in front of a bear or run away?
I was pretty shook by a lot of the stuff. And if you haven't listened to it, then I suggest that you listen to it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shook to your bones, shook to your core.
I gotta tell you some hot tea. I can't believe that I didn't bring it up on my first episode back.
Please.
Girl. So everybody who listens to this podcast regularly knows I am fucking nosy. If you're on a flight with me, if you're at the next table and you're talking about some juicy shit, you might as well just wave me over because I'm listening. Okay. So on my flight from Porto to Madrid, oh, bitch, the lady in the seat I was in the aisle, she was in the window. Okay. So she's so there was one person in between us, a barrier, which I wanted gone. Okay. Yeah. But you know, I couldn't get rid of this person, but I was like, switch with me. You know, this woman is on the phone. Like she's just whatever, sitting there minding her own business and her phone rings and we were delayed. So she was like, hey, how are you, honey? And then all of a sudden from her side of the conversation, I was able to gather that this woman was speaking to one of her friends who just caught their fiance cheating on them.
No.
So because she was like, oh, honey, oh, God. And wait, how'd you find out? It just like this whole thing. So then she's like, I'm like, oh, my God, that's crazy. And so then this woman all of a sudden is a fucking paralegal. She reminded me of us, you know, because I do think that she said the words, I'm not a lawyer, but, and I was like, oh, like she was fucking iconic. I'm
coming for my throat.
She was a fucking iconic. But she was basically trying to give the advice of like, start screenshotting and documenting everything, you know, figure out, make sure that he's at home or at work or whatever, you know, when you serve him divorce papers, like he needs to be in a place that, you know, he'll for sure be because you don't want to miss him. And she said, she was like, speaking from my own personal experience. So I'm like, a divorcee, you know. And she was like, when she got the information on who the girl was, she was like, oh, you should find her husband on Facebook and tell him everything. Maybe you two can help each other. Bitch.
Wow.
I was like, turn off this fucking plane. The engines are too loud. I need to hear more. The iPod Pros, they have noise cancellation, but then they also have a different function, which is like a spatial microphone.
Yes.
So that like you're hearing what is in your headphones and also around you so you don't get hit by a car. I had that spatial microphone on and not a fucking thing playing in my ear. It was like if I had a hearing aid, I just turned it up.
Honestly,
Man.
Incredible plane conversation.
It was, and so Taylor and I like to do this thing where, because we're both very tall,
Sure.
so we both like an aisle seat because it's the most comfortable place. So what we do is we'll sit in aisle seats across from each other.
Yes.
And so I'm trying to like, because he's just sitting over there like reading his book, fucking listening to music, just fine, happy, just waiting for the plane to take off. And I'm like, I can't text it because I need big font on my phone because I can't see very well. And so the person in the middle seat is going to know that I'm texting because tell me, bitch, that you're reading your book in the middle and you're not listening to this too. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I was like, I want him to like know. So I had to sit there. The flight took off eventually, and she was like, "I'm sorry, babe, I gotta get off the phone." But and I'm like, "No, break the rules.
Break the rule.
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Put it on speaker." I had to sit on that whole flight, just sitting on that information, being like, I want to tell Taylor. I want to tell Erica. I want to tell the podcast. It was honestly my biggest get of hot tea and gossip. You know, it was great. It was fantastic.
Like, I never wish anyone a cheating, a scandal of anything.
No.
But what a fucking anchor friend. She's like, find his wife. Like, fuck, like she's just outlining what to do. She's like, sorry that happened. Here's what we're gonna do. Like, action plan. Like,
Just honestly, like a real one. She was the moment. She was everything. Like she was mother.
she was, yeah. I want to hide a body with her.
She said she'd found out about it in that same moment. She was like, I'm so sorry. Here's where you serve him divorce papers. Yes. Find her husband, fuck her shit. Like, maybe you guys can help each other. Girl. It was so good. It was so good.
See, there's nothing I love more than other people's drama and pettiness. And
yeah, because it just there was a TikTok about people or someone saying, I understand if you're single and Valentine's Day bums you out, like, but you need to appreciate the information that it affords us, because the people who you casually stalk on Instagram, who you don't know that well, but you still stalk them, Valentine's Day will be the day when you can find out if they're still in their relationship, and like complain about Valentine's Day, but like don't take for granted the information it gives you. And I'm like, man, that is so true. It's so much easier to be up in someone's business, you know, around that time. I feel sad saying it because I don't want people up in my business, but here I am. Whatever. I'm only human. Anyways, I'm so sorry. Why I had to get that off my chest. It's not even why I'm trash, although it sure could be. Why are you trash?
Okay, so on Saturday night, I took a little trip up north.
Okay.
30 minutes outside of LA to Agora Hills.
Oh.
And I went to the Canyon Club, which is like a concert venue / like supper club. The median age was at least 48 and a half.
Okay.
Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, okay.
Of the Scandoval, the man who cheated on Ariana with Raquel for months under her nose in her home. Tom Sandoval's band, Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras, had a show at the Agora Hill Canyon Club. And through my magic of a Facebook group member, I was guest listed to go. So my plan was to like, fuck this guy. You know, I'm going to go in there with like, not give him any energy, you know. And I get in, I'm guest listed, right? I confirm with the lady I'm supposed to be on the list. I'm like, great. I bring a friend. We get there. The guy at the door is like, I don't see you on the list. I was like, no, not Tom's list. Like, you know, Linda's list. I'm just, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm not seeing anything. And I was like, okay. So I like step out again. I brought a friend. It's a 45 minute drive. And I'm like, so I step back and I'm like, let me just message her again. You know, I'm trying not to freak out because I'm not giving this asshole any money. I'm not paying to see Tom Sandoval's band. And I'm like trying to like not freak out and message. And then a girl just comes up and is like, hi, like a lovely, sweet girl. She's like, hi, are you guys here to see Tom's band? And we're like, yeah. And she's like, are you guys Team Ariana? And we're like, of course. And she's like, I have so many extra tickets. Would you guys want to like have some of mine? And we were like, yes, thank you so much. Like instantly. And then she's like, can I hang out? And we're like, fucking of course. She was so sweet and so cool. I absolutely adored hanging out with her, but we did all the, you know, the things from the show. Like, oh, they took pictures on this couch. Of course we have to go take pictures on, you know, we did just lived our VPR fantasy. But the thing, you know, just trashy, you know, not like even a dance floor. Like the stage has like 8 tables lined up in front of it, running vertical. And it's like you have to order like a steak dinner and chocolate pie. Like it's like not like a dance hall. Anyway, Tom Sandoval's band's logo is a Canva font. It's a template from Canva. I clocked it immediately because it's the same one we used for our allegedly shirts. And I was like, that's a Canva font. I pulled up Canva and I was like, mirror, see this? This is a shirt. See this? So then in that research and digging, I realized our merchandise, our allegedly merchandise, was spelled incorrectly for months.
Allegedly was?
It was ALLEDEGDELY. I put a D instead of a G in allegedly.
So it said allegedly?
Allegedly. And somebody was like, hey, like in the Facebook group where I was, talking about this, somebody's like, is allegedly spelled wrong on purpose? And I was like, yeah, it's an inside joke with the podcast. Mortified.
Oh,
so I corrected
no.
it. It's new in the store. If you go to trashypodcast.threadless.com, you can get a correct spelled allegedly.
Has
But I
anyone
have
bought that one?
me like on a sweatshirt and a t-shirt.
Oh, shit.
I have rare merch, misprint merch. that's
Yeah.
thousands of dollars now with a misspell. Anyway, I'm so fucking trash. I didn't double check the spelling. Allegedly. Like, God. Anyway, we went. Tom Sandoval's band's ridiculous, whatever. The band's very talented, like great singers and musicians, but Tom's a great jackass. But his band logo is a Canva font. And I was like, I know that exactly. Anyway, I'm trash.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah, please.
Number one, did you go because this was like a Vanderpump Rules event, or did you go specifically to hate on this guy?
Specifically to hate on this guy.
Okay.
And we thought they may be filming because they're filming a new season already. They're already rolling. So there was a chance they could be filming at the show.
I see. Because to me, that sounds like the equivalent of when people like when Kid Rock bought a bunch of Bud Light just to shoot it,
Yes.
Like,
yes. Yeah.
They got your money. And I know you didn't pay for the show, but you did fill his audience, or like when people like buy jerseys just to burn them, and it's like, damn, you're not hurting.
You're saying I protested Bud Light incorrectly? Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah.
No,
you
get
just
it.
protested him incorrectly.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I wanted to see
do your thing.
The Schadenfreude. I wanted to see what this because he like pays this band for like rehearsals. Like it's not like they formed organically. Like he bought a band and he does cover songs. It's like a wedding band, essentially.
All right.
So anyway, I'm wrong. I protested the wrong way.
Hey, do your thing. I was just trying to make sure I understood. And second thing is that reminded me of our allegedly debacle was John Sylvain, who we love so much from the Nooner podcast. He released a trivia game called You Know It, the game. Yes. He had it on Zoom, and then he also had a physical copy of it. Yeah. Which is a card game, and it's great. And I'm pretty sure you can still go to youknowitthegame.com to purchase it. But the first prints that came out had a typo on the front. Which, like, of all the things to have a typo on the front, probably not like a game about how smart you are,
Yeah.
Which was fun. It's super fun. And so there's some very rare copies of You Know It, the game out there. I think I had one of them, but it got damaged with a lot of other board games and mold. And so the copy of You Know It, the game that I have now is a corrected version. So, just lost out on millions of dollars, but it is what it is.
Well, speaking of corrected versions, let's get into our first story because I feel like this is kind of an alignment of me misspelling the shirt and then our story and John the game.
I love this story, and I think it's everyone knows that I'm a huge Costco stan, which is where this story takes place from narcity.com.
Oh, I read it as Narc Itty.
Okay.
I just thought that was stupid. I'll cut that. I thought that was funny. Anyway,
Don't you fucking cut it.
all right. Get into the story.
You have a lot of power. Okay, with the edit. But sometimes overruled.
Overruled.
Maybe there's something funny to someone out there, not just
Adjourned.
you, about Narkitty. Costco took a cake order way too literally, and internet users are cracking up at the result.
So, a Costco cake decorator just proved that even the best instructions can be taken the wrong way after turning a customer's simple request into a viral internet moment.
Here's what they wanted. They wanted a white sheet cake, so rectangle white cake, and they wanted the borders of the cake to be done in red frosting. So like, around the top, and then like on the corners down the side, and then around the bottom, whatever. Easy peasy, just red frosting on the borders. That's it.
And what they got was, so they put a drawing of what they wanted in the instructions. Do this,
Yeah, they
right?
explained it. They explained it super detailed, and to be safe, included a drawing, which is that maybe too much? Maybe, but maybe they're like me and basically get paid to micromanage. Because when I saw this, I was like, that's some shit I would do. I would be like, this is so simple. I better include a diagram.
So the picture they got on the cake, the icing is literally a square of the drawing in the middle of the cake. The borders are white. Like, it's the complete opposite.
Their diagram is now just displayed on the cake. And so like their diagram is like, like when you're in middle school and you're bored and you're doodling and you kind of just like learn how to make a 3D box.
Yes. Or the S, the S with the, yes.
Yes. So it's just a 3D ish box. I mean, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh,
It feels like a middle finger in a way of like, don't give me such simple, like such simple requests became suddenly more complicated, and now I'm gonna take it really literal.
I love it. So did you watch that? There was an FX show called Dirt that starred Courtney Cox as like the editor of a rumor, like a like a paparazzi tabloid. Thank you. Like a tabloid magazine.
Uh-huh.
And everyone was obviously doing unethical things to get the shots and all these things. Did you watch that? It was a really good show. It's called Dirt. Did you watch that?
No, I never even heard of it, but I love Courtney Cox.
Can barely remember any of the plots. Nothing. But the image that sticks out in my mind and will forever, like episode 1 or 2, there's a white sheet cake and somebody has it, they're like hanging out like a man and a woman. And the woman sits on the cake, like vagina ass, like full naked, sits on the white cake. And it's like a fetish thing for one of the characters. And I thought of that. I've thought of like that is just like a core memory burned into my mind. And then I said, said to myself, oh, that is just a yeast infection. Like that is just the sugar in that vagina. Nothing's going to be right in that pH balance after that. But that horrific image is burned into my head of this woman sitting on a cake. I don't remember the context. I don't remember the character that did it, but a woman sits on a cake with her vagina. Anyway.
I don't remember this show, but I do remember this poster being around town. I mean, it's iconic. It's the red dress, Courtney Cox. It's amazing. I feel like I would like this show, but I'd have to pay to watch it. So
yeah,
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. But this next story is also about vaginas. And that's what made me segue.
Oh, that's good. A
long-winded segue.
And I could have been there too, but I was too busy looking at Courtney Cox.
She's gorgeous. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
From Jezebel.com. Is your vagina turned toward your partner in every picture? If so, it's been tamed.
There is a gentleman on Twitter whose handle I'm not going to say because I don't want to. And he's comes up with all these weird tests that he like will mark up magazine covers or all these things to basically go on misogynistic rants. And so what we're referring to here is the green line test.
Yes. So essentially imagine an inverted triangle over a woman's vagina, vaginal area. And if it's pointed towards your partner in photos, that means that it is tamed. That means you are completely synced with this person. But if it's outward, if it's presenting, if you're standing to camera, if it's out, basically that means it's untamed and wild.
Now, I think it's safe to say that this guy's never seen a vagina in real life. Do you think that he actually thinks that they're triangles?
I mean, I think he's just trying to give, like a wedge of pizza more accurately for the
But
drawings.
like, I would say that maybe he thinks that vaginas are actually inverted triangles because he's never seen one, obviously, because
yes, that's fair.
His obsession is with taming them. Yeah. So if you got a photo with your partner and you're both looking dead on, I'm looking actually at my wedding photo right now. And wouldn't you know it, there's my untamed pussy, flaunting.
Yeah.
And according to this guy, this is his words, the pussy wants what it wants, and it wants to be tamed by a dominant man. So, that's my wedding photo.
It's truly insane. He does lots of, XOs drawings over the vagina. If it's vagina out, you are untamed. You're wild to the war. Yeah. One Dua Lipa post, she's on the ground, her legs tinted up as if to say, try and tame it, motherfucker. And he says an untamed pussy is not happy. Just look at the faces. So basically.
Yeah. He's looking at a photo of Jada Pinkett Smith and being like, look at how unhappy she looks. And everyone's like, she's smiling.
What's crazy is that they'll let anybody have a Twitter account. That shit's free. You can get on there today and say Atlantis is real. I'll just let you.
Yeah. So, obviously this guy's just like a sexist idiot. It's too bad though, because he's got a lot of followers and there's a lot of people who believe what he says and a lot of people out there who think that women need to be tamed. But we at the Trash Podcast are here to tell you nobody needs to be tamed.
We're not wild horses.
No, we sure aren't. We're not feral cats.
Mm-mm.
We are human beings.
But you know what's a big cat? A tiger.
Rawr.
Rawr. And this next story comes to us from LSU, which is their mascot's a tiger. So from SI.com, a student charged with stealing $1,500 in beer from LSU's Tiger Stadium, a 19-year-old has been arrested on one count of simple burglary from stealing multiple cases of the beer.
So this is upsetting because I have tailgated once in my life and it happened to be at LSU's Tiger Stadium.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't go there, but my ex did. So I tailgated all day and nobody told me that most people who tailgate don't actually go to the game. And also nobody told me that they don't serve alcohol at the game. So
they don't serve it inside.
Yeah, so I drank all day in the sun, and then the game was about to start, and I'm like, let's go, everybody. And everyone's like, oh, we're not going to that shit. And I was like, what? And I looked at my ex, I was like, why are we going? And he was like, well, you've never been to a college football game. I was like, I don't want to go. I want to go where everyone we've been partying with all day goes. So our seats were the season tickets to one of his friends from college's parents or whatever. And they were right by the band, and not even a gigantic college marching band playing every time that anything happened could keep me awake when I was day drinking. I was falling asleep in my seat. Now, if they served alcohol, inside I probably would have been able to sustain.
Yeah.
But I was falling asleep even though there was a trumpet basically in my ear. So I'm reading this story being like, what beer did he steal? There's no beer there.
Oh, maybe they serve it in like suites or something, because they don't serve it in general. Like OSU is the same way. They don't serve it inside the stadium, but like the suites, like the private areas, can have alcohol. Who knows? I would just like to report that to this day, I think I am still banned from the AGR tailgate at Oklahoma State University. I haven't been there in over a decade of years, but I got so belligerently drunk at a tailgate that I was wearing a neon bright orange shirt, black skirt, Deminis, and I got so drunk that there are photos of me just like propped up sitting on a tree on the way to the stadium. And I was like, I can't go any further. I was so drunk. I don't know how I got home. I don't know how I'm alive to this day, but I was banned from the AGR tailgates from that point forward.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that possible that you could be the drunkest person at a tailgate?
You know, they say, how is that possible? But I said, I can do anything I put my mind to. No one's going to tell me no, but me.
When I went to a 49ers game this year, like one of the last games of the year or whatever, with my in-laws, and I'd never been to a professional football game, so I obviously haven't been to one of their tailgates either. Whoa. They make college kids look stupid because we were just walking through the parking lot and I'm seeing grown adults just take massive pulls off of the same like tequila bottle and just like, I'm like, wow, we're outside and all I can smell is tequila burp. And then and like they do go to the game after.
Yeah.
So there's some people who go to professional football games who spend hundreds, thousands even, to go to these professional football games, who are absolutely ripped out of their mind. It's intense.
It's intense. This student here, he was carrying the beer by hand, and a police approached them. They fled the scene at 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and then the police tracked him down to his residential hall, and they knocked on the door, and he gave them permission to search his room, and they found the cases of stolen beer. Let's talk about a lawyer. Do you have a warrant? Absolutely, you cannot search my dorm.
What's your probable cause? I don't even care. Shut your mouth. I want a lawyer.
I want a lawyer. Yeah. The youth. We need to, teach the youth.
You know, they got a real tiger at that stadium or at that school. They have a real tiger at that school. And I was like, why? Why do you have this here? They're like, oh, it comes out in the games and it makes everyone happy. I was like, so you guys keep a caged tiger 365 days of the year to roll out and like put on the Jumbotron and then roll back into its hell? And they're like, oh, no, it's treated really well. Is it?
It's not in a fucking jungle.
A tiger in Louisiana is happy? I mean, whatever. What can you do? You were working on a great segue and I really had to get that tiger thing in.
That's insane. I did not know that. That is,
yeah.
They're treated really well.
Tiger.
They get to live in a fucking hotel room.
Yeah, like, okay. Yeah, they're really 5-star accommodations at LSU for this tiger that you apparently fucking need.
Well, okay. LSU is a school of higher education. Let's go down to the lower education, the high school, elementary, junior high schools in Utah in particularly. So from sltrib.com, a Utah parent says the Bible contains porn and should be removed from school libraries. Here's their full challenge. They wrote that the book should be considered indecent under Utah's new book banning law. What is this, 1984? After seeing the other titles that have been pulled, frustrated by the books being removed from school libraries, which are arbitrary and silly, and people are fucking ridiculous and fascist. My editorializing, a Utah parent said that there's one book that hasn't been challenged yet, but it should be for being one of the most sex-ridden books around. and they chose the Bible.
You know, this isn't a bad. I think that they're able to like submit these kind of anonymously, and so I don't know why more people aren't doing this. But yeah, this in their request they go at incest, onanism. What the hell is that?
Great question. Let's look that up.
You gonna Google that?
Of course. Bestiality,
Prostitution, genital mutilation, fellatio.
dildos, infanticide, and onism is masturbation.
Okay, and a little bit of R word happening in the Bible.
Mhm.
Anyways, this person said, you'll find no doubt that the Bible under Utah Code AN 76-10-1227 has no serious values for minors because it's pornographic by our new definition. I
Mhm.
mean, where's the lie?
It's not. That's some of my favorite shit is the dirty parts of the Bible. Yeah, so the Salt Lake Tribune obtained a copy of the parents' petition and submitted a public records request for it, and it was denied. The school district has not responded to the Tribune's request to comment but returned a call later that week. And the district spokesperson said that we don't differentiate between one request and another. We see that as the work that we do. I don't know. So basically the book's under review, it seems like. This process typically takes 60 days. And they say that the committee is not done with his request due to a backlog as more parents have been questioning books.
You know, maybe you just don't do this, right?
Maybe just don't ban books.
60 days. I mean, Libby only gives me 21 to read the book. The library only gives you 21. So,
well, and he even gave out an 8-page listing of passages from the Bible that he found offensive and worth reviewing. He's not saying don't even read the whole book. I got some excerpts for you.
yeah, don't read the whole book. The thing's a snore. I mean, if you're going to read the book, you have to be given the instructions, like just skip all that begat stuff.
Yeah, the begats, get out of there. The judges shit, good stuff. A lot of murder, a lot of war, a lot of fun, a lot of kings just being like, she's my wife now. I was like, but she was married to that guy. He's like, good to be king.
And they go, what is her name? And they go, no one knows.
No one knows.
This is the
two
Bible.
Names. You're a Mary, a Rebecca, a Ruth, and an Eve. End of list of names. Like, sorry, this is all you can be.
Or you're John's wife.
Or John's wife. This whole cause came about by Utah Parents United, a right-leaning group that has led the efforts to challenge books for being inappropriate. But it is largely centered on texts that are written about the LGBTQ community and people of color. So this is the Bible's too woke. The Bible's too woke for them, they say.
Well, they don't say that, but according to their rules,
the petition is saying that the Bible's too woke. Yeah, basically that's also been Utah Parents Unite has been also labeled that it is a white supremacist hate group and is stepping on education and the freedom to access literature, blah, blah, blah. Utah. Ugh. Anyway, it's just a mess. What are we doing?
I don't know, but that is a whole ass political party in this country, right wing. And I really hope that someday they find some people who are not also. I mean, I don't know. At this point, I'm like rooting for the underdogs. I guess Democrats are still the underdogs.
Oh, God.
It's just like crazy, you know.
We gotta get our shit together.
This isn't political podcast. It's trashy. So we'll just. I really don't want anyone's takeaway to be like, is Cass saying that like she's rooting for Republicans? I'm not. I'm just. Wouldn't it be tight if we lived in a country that had a real two-party system rather than like this is the party that like is for progress and isn't like super hateful, and then this is the party that is so beyond batshit at this point, you know? Like, wouldn't that be like crazy to like have just two kind of moderate options, and then all the super crazy people on either side like could kind of just do their thing?
That would be super chill. But
yeah.
Well, it's like North Korea and South Korea, a dictatorship in North Korea, batshit craziness, and then the moderate South Koreans. And this next story happens to come from South Korea. So I'm so glad I made that association. I'm just pulled it out of the air.
Wow.
From nextshark.com, a South Korean woman who passed their driving test after 960 tries goes viral again.
You know, the story takes place in 2010, and I guess we could call it a happy story, but call me a cynic. I think that you shouldn't get 960 tries to pass your driver's test. I think that maybe if you can't pass it after like 5 tries,
Yeah.
I don't think you should be driving. And I'm sorry. Look, who am I on my high horse? I passed my driver's test at the super hard Glendale DMV on the first try when every kid in my class had to go and get their driver's license in Van Nuys or Pacoima because they already failed at Glendale. So who am I? A perfect driver, of course. But I still think, fuck it. If 5 is too few, how about 100?
Yeah.
You know?
Around 100. Yeah.
960 times?
Yeah. So
How does that even work?
she started trying when she was in her 80s because she found that the transportation in her remote village or mountainous village was very frustrating. So the transportation to and from the village was a bus that ran once every 2 hours. And the roads leading into the village were so narrow that it could only accommodate one vehicle at a time. So if you missed the bus, you got to wait another 2 hours, she said. Talk about frustrating.
So frustrating, you know? She never got a chance to really get super high education, you know, because she was born of a low-income farmer family of 7 children. You know, she started working young, and really her only education was like maybe up to 4th grade and then night school after she turned 15. So really a story of someone who pushed and worked hard through life, and she did. She ended up having kids, and now she's got grandkids, and she had a husband who, you know, like it was all good. And you know, she was like, I'm sick. She decided at 60 that she wanted to try to get the license. She didn't get it until she was 80, I think.
She wanted to take her grandchildren to the zoo, but it's estimated she spent between $4,200 and $6,800 on driver's test.
Because it costs $5 every time that you take the test. But she had, you know, she was in the headlines already before she even got the license.
Yeah.
Because at that point she was failing 775 times. She was taking this shit every day.
Yeah, for 3 years, 5 days a week, 1 test a day. She eventually cut down her attempts to twice a week and then continued till she achieved her goal. She found a book that were guidebooks for how to get a driver's license, and they were saying it takes at most 5 years to get this. This is persistence. I respect it. Damn. She got a 60 out of 100 on the written test, which lasted 50 minutes and consisted of 40 multiple choice questions about road regulations, car maintenance. She fucking got it, man.
So my girl didn't, to pass on her 960th time, got a D. 60%?
D's get degree.
D's get driver's licenses, apparently. But
Yes.
like, and apparently the people at the, like this driving school were like so stoked when she passed, because they got to a point where they didn't want to even tell her to quit, and everyone's like, oh my god, she's so sweet. Apparently she passed the driving portion after her 5th try, so it was really
It's
just the written stuff.
Damn.
But like,
okay, that changes my perspective on things then.
Why? This bitch doesn't know the rules of the road.
She might know them, but she might not be as literate to take the test. She might know things. I don't know. I'm on her team. I'm on her team.
Yeah, but mommy,
If you can do the driving, you can do it. But like,
okay, come to me when she's complaining because she's got 7 parking tickets because she's illiterate. Okay, I think it's fucked up too, and I'm not saying that you like. These signs are confusing. I'm looking out for her best interest.
I bet parking is much simpler in South Korea than it in this mountainous region than it is in LA, where there's 8 traffic signs on one pole that say no parking anytime, parking from noon to 12 a.m. on Monday. Like I bet it's a much simpler thing. And she's got a Hyundai Kia to drive around because Hyundai gave her a brand new car and had her appear in its ads in South Korea.
What? A $16,000 free car, and you're in an ad campaign for passing because on your 960th try. You guys, all that tells me is that, hey, you see that car in that ad? When you see one on the road, avoid it.
She's just a nice little grandma.
And hello, I don't like it when 80-year-olds drive in general.
I don't like it when 80-year-olds are in government. But anyway,
I don't like when they vote. I said it. Okay? I said it. And I'm not going to apologize for it.
But, some grandmas do more than vote. They do more than drive. Some grandmas deal in fentanyl.
Oh my God, that's sent in by Tina Curry herself.
Ooh la la. From the NewYorkPost.com. I pause for just one moment. I must say that I love the stories that Tina Curry sends in, my mother, but she often sends them early in the morning, like her time. She lives in a different time zone. So what happens is I wake up to a text message from my mother and think it's an emergency. And then it's an article that says, fentanyl dealing grandma, trashy question mark. But just seeing text 6 a.m., M sent you a text message. I'm like, did someone die? And it's typically just a trashy story. So
maybe you and Tina can come to an agreement that it's not an emergency unless it's a phone call.
Send it, send an email. But
let her text you stories.
Let her text me. An unassuming grandma was accused of running a drug ring in her California home, and people, her neighborhood, said, this is like Breaking Bad.
Now, I don't think that her neighborhood is familiar with the FXX show Animal Farm, or Animal Kingdom.
No, that's a TNT series. Nana loves Animal Kingdom.
Oh, you're right. It is TNT because they know drama. Now, my apologies.
My Nana loves Animal Kingdom.
For what it's worth, TNT, FX, both owned by the same Mickey Mouse god.
Yeah, fair.
So that's maybe where my confusion showed up. Anyways, Joanne Marion Segovia, I'm naming her, I don't care, who she worked as the executive director of the San Jose Police Officers Association, which immediately to me makes this story no longer surprising, has been slapped with federal charges for allegedly importing a synthetic opioid called varial fentanyl, which is
fucking
killing
deadly.
A lot of people.
Yeah. It's they said, she's just like would have, chocolate chip cookies and stuff for her grandkids, like grandma stuff, they said. But they compared her to Walter White from Breaking Bad. From the affidavit, it says that she received 61 packages at her home from October 2015 to January 2023. She tried to blame her housekeeper. But
that is some Animal Kingdom Walter White shit.
These packages were coming from India, Canada, Great Britain, Hong Kong, and China. They were labeled as containing assortment of items, including wedding party favors, makeup, supplements, chocolates, and sweet.
So she would distribute this opioid, tramadol, tapinadol. She would distribute it across the U.S. And we're not going to cite how many people die of this, but it's super, super dangerous and really bad, and drugs are not good. Her neighbors were surprised. Unmarked vehicles showed up and, started taking all the bags out. But I'm sorry, she's the executive director of the San Jose Police Officers Association. It feels like it's surprising that some 64-year-old woman is like this big drug kingpin, but also, is it that surprising?
No. Quick plug. Everyone should get Narcan and carry it. Like, There are tons of websites that will give you free Narcan. This is an over-the-counter treatment to help prevent opioid overdose. It is a counteractor to fentanyl. There's free trainings. There's websites that will give it to you for free in California and in different states. That shit's deadly. And people are cutting it in, not just like Coke. I mean, people are cutting it in all sorts of stuff. So we all need to start carrying Narcan because it can
Is it called
happen.
Narcan?
Narcan. Yeah. I guess I've only
Also,
seen it written down. Yeah.
I mean, if you go out, you might want to get some Narcan. Like, Mom, you don't need to go get Narcan. Although
Old people be
doing the opioids.
Some of her neighbors are like, I'm a nurse. This angers me to my core. I've been working with people that experience drug addiction, and it's death, it's destruction. I can't believe she would do something like this. So F that lady. But man,
yeah, it's not good, and we don't like her. That's not a good way to make money. But you know who does have a good way to make money?
who? How? What?
Sting.
We'll be right back after this message from our sponsors.
From the insider.com, Diddy, also known as P. Diddy or Puff Daddy, depending on what era you know him from, says that he pays Sting $5,000 a day for sampling Every Breath You Take without his permission.
Yep. He says that he pays the legendary rocker for sampling Every Breath You Take. And this was used in I'll Be Missing You, a 1997 tribute to the notorious B.I.G. that he sang it with Faith Evans. It spent 11 weeks at the Billboard Hot 100. It still comes on. I get emotional thinking about it. But yeah, Sting confirmed in a 2018 interview with The Breakfast Club, Diddy didn't ask him first, though, and that he has to pay him $2,000 per day for the rest of his life.
This is, for anyone who's keeping score, $1.825 million a year that Diddy pays Sting. And apparently they're buds. Sting is like, oh yeah, I've had enough money from him to put some of my 6 children through college. And this isn't even the only. Oh, Elton John was the one who told Sting, hey, you should listen to I'll Be Missing You because you're about to be a millionaire. Like, he didn't even know it was Elton John who like narked on him. And Sting said, I am a millionaire. And Elton John said, you're going to be a millionaire twice over. And then they laughed while they sipped from diamonds.
They were just pissing them away, just setting diamonds on fire and money.
There is another song by the late Juice WRLD, who the song is called Shape of My Heart. And the Sting song that was sampled in Juice WRLD's song was Shape of My Heart. And the song was Lucid Dreams, which peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Sting is said to own 85% of Juice WRLD songs because of the sample. And the producer of this song says, fuck Sting and his whole team after taking 85% of Lucid Dreams for interpolating Shape of My Heart, not even sampling. He threatened to take us to court for trying to get any percentage of it. So Sting apparently was trying to get 100% of the song.
I mean, you gotta do this. Like if you write a song with somebody, like immediately go to ASCAP or like BMI, like register your shit. And it costs money to use it. Dolly Parton has made more money off Whitney Houston singing I Will Always Love You because she wrote the song and Whitney's was a hit. You know what I mean? She's like, that makes me more money than anything. Damn.
Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting thing. And obviously, like, you can try to make Sting out to be a villain here, but he fucking wrote the song. Like, he wrote the songs first. The Police did it first.
Yep.
And so if you're going to sample, you got to ask. You got to ask, because I bet that if they would have asked.
You got to ask. You got to ask and get that permission. Otherwise, you're going to be writing checks for the rest of your life. Do you know where I like to hear music samples?
At festivals?
Yes.
I think that you could probably get it for cheaper if you ask up front.
Yeah.
Then there's no way that if Diddy would have said, hey, my buddy, respected rapper Notorious B.I.G. just died, and I'd really love to sample your song, the Police song, so I could make a tribute song to him. Can I please have that? I have a feeling that Sting wouldn't have said, yeah, sure, for $1.8 million a year for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he would have been like, oh yeah, as a musician, I also respect Notorious B.I.G. unless he was a Tupac fan. Anyways, who's to say?
All this music talk has me ready for the dumpster fire of the week. Are you ready for the dumpster fire?
I'm ready. Oh my God.
He's back, baby. He's back.
Oh God. Also from Tina Curry. So thank you so much. From the HuffPost.com, Fire Festival grifter Billy McFarland says a sequel is in the works.
So McFarland served 4 years in prison for duping investors and attendees in the ill-fated music festival Fire Festival. But he's ready to get back in it. He's in the saddle again.
There are 2 documentaries on the Fire Festival. If
3, I'm in the 3rd.
You're in the 3rd?
Joey Cliff made a Fire Festival documentary. So there was one on Netflix, one on Hulu. Of course, we know about those. But Fire 3, the 3rd, mostly crowdsourced Fire Festival documentary, I am a part of.
What? Bury the lead.
I mean, as a journalist, I have to be impartial. You know, it's like I gotta be cool. But yeah, Joey
How
Cliff
funny.
made a joke one, and I'm in it. So
You can watch that on joeycliff.com, and it's 30 minutes long. Anyways, there are 3 documentaries on the Fire Festival. Most famously, though, the ones on Netflix and Hulu probably get the most nitty-gritty information from there. And that's all I'm going to say, because I just don't want to waste our time recapping the Fire Festival and what we already know.
yeah, but he tweeted, Fire Festival 2 is finally happening, with a flame emoji, of course. And he says, tell me why you should be invited.
My
Okay.
guy here just served 4 years in prison for duping investors and attendees of the first Fire Festival. And what does he do as soon as he gets out? He goes, time to sign up for Twitter. Okay. And time to do another Fire Festival because I need an income.
Don't you think at this point, I'm Billy McFarland, I'm a serial entrepreneur, I get it. Like, I'm a hustler, I'm this guy. Given the notoriety of the first Fire Festival, like, there's never been a Hindenburg 2. Don't you think he would change the name? Call it something else.
You know, I think from my understanding, he was trying to do all kinds of little weird grifty things like within prison.
yeah.
Like he kind of just doesn't stop. He's a hustler. But what he needs to understand is there was a pandemic since you went into prison. You probably remember it because you were in prison during the pandemic, which must have been crazy. But I saw this and I was like, oh my God, nobody wants to fucking hear from you. Nobody wants this shit. We've seen things. We've been through things. There is your trivial, hustling, stupid Fire Festival bullshit. Like, like there's like 700,000 people who are dead since you've been in prison, and you're coming and saying that you want to do a Fire Festival and, you know, being like that he has his eyes on the tech industry in an interview with the New York Times. New York Times, why the fuck are you even interviewing this guy?
They'll platform anybody.
These people don't go away until you stop looking at them.
McFarland was fined $26 million when he put on the first Fire Festival. So I'm sure he's just trying to make that. He's trying to pay his restitution.
The New York court, who is trying to get all the ticket holders and stuff back their money now, or like reimbursing something, now has gotten it down basically to only owing everyone $280 a person, which is a lot less than the original ask, which is crazy because these tickets were like thousands of dollars and they all had to fly to this island that wasn't ready for them. I mean, look at us, we're talking about him, so I'm a hypocrite, but some of these people just need to, like, you could have gone away. You could have gone away and maybe popped up in like you could have given it like 5 more years. And people would have been like, Billy McFarland, it's a familiar name. Were you related to Family Guy? And he could be like, yes. Like people would have forgotten about you 100%.
Yeah.
But instead you got out of prison with your same stupid name that everyone remembers and went, hey, I'm back and I'm doing it again.
Fun fact, if you Google Billy McFarland and his Wikipedia pops up, it says Billy McFarland in parentheses or in commas, fraudster. It has to differentiate from the other Billy McFarlands. And it literally says fraudster.
Yeah, I mean, but then
that's-
again, you know what?
that's not
Trump
him.
was president, girl. So
Yeah. And
the
Republicans,
sky's the limit.
not Republican, fucking MAGAs are saying even if Trump is a convicted felon, they'll still fucking vote for him. So like, shoot your shot, Billy. Shoot your shot.
Oh God, like go away. I want all these men to just go away.
Oh.
Whatever. What are you hoarding?
Okay, I'm hoarding a show. It's on Netflix and
Uh-huh.
it's called Beef.
Oh, I've heard such good things.
Oh, it is so good.
Okay.
So it's a TV series. It came out all at once on Netflix. It's two strangers get into a road rage incident and it brings chaos into their lives. It Ali Wong, it's got Steven Yeun. It's just so fucking good. Like I really like this story. I'm just excited. Yeah, it's really funny and really good. I just watch it. Just watch it. Yeah. Beef. It's what's for dinner. And it's on Netflix. What are you hoarding?
They've got this fun little thing that I didn't know existed until I was in Europe and basically falling asleep at tables trying to beat jet lag. And a bartender said, here, have a couple of these to stay awake. And they're called Baby Guinness. It's a shot and it's Kahlua.
Mhm.
And then with a carefully placed with a spoon Irish cream top. So in a shot glass, it looks like a Guinness. This Baby Guinness shot. I really don't mess with caffeine too much, but I was too tired to turn it down and ended up having quite a few of these on my trip when I was feeling tired. It's like an espresso shot, but like one that you can order at a bar and continue to keep rolling, and keep drinking. So it's a nice thing. Like instead of picking up a cocaine habit, like try a Baby Guinness,
I appreciate it. I love it. I love that.
Yeah. What are you throwing out?
The DEA,
Wow. Big.
Drug Enforcement Agency.
Tell them why.
Girl, I can't get my Concerta. And the DEA is throttling the production. I called 40-something pharmacies. I'm trying to get my refill for my ADHD medication. Can't get it. I'm out. I'm rationing. It's horrible. So finally I have to meet with my doctor. And I'm like, yeah, put me on something else, but not before. I called pharmacies. I tried to call the DEA directly when I found out they're the ones that control what's manufactured. I said, ring, ring, what's up? Guess what? Some of the numbers on their government website do not work. So then I called up my congressman, Representative Jimmy Gomez. And I said, Jimmy, baby, I can't get a hold of the DEA. And that's one of the services that he offers on his constituent website. I was like, baby, mama needs the juice. I can't fucking concentrate. And he said, I'm on it, Erica. And by that, I mean, a field representative took my voicemail, my emails, and then eventually they replied quickly. But like 45 pharmacies, I can't get a refill on this stuff. There's a shortage. It's been happening. It started with Adderall in the fall. And it's finally working its way down to the variants like, Vyvanse and Concerta and all these others. And DEA, I can't concentrate. I can't work. Please give me my stuff. So I'm throwing them out. And make sure the numbers on your website work. You're in the government, for goodness sake. Anyway.
You answered your question.
Wow.
You're in the government.
Yeah.
Why would their phone numbers work,
That's fair. All right, Cass. Now, what are you throwing away? What are you throwing away?
I throwing away people who have no hustle
Mhm.
when you're going to a one person bathroom or like a stall, like
Mhm.
even if you're in a multiple stalls, if you see a bathroom line, nay, you participated in a bathroom line,
Mhm.
and then you get in there and you just dilly dally. What are you doing?
Don't you dilly dally.
Like, what- you had the nerve to pull out your phone, unless you're taking a shit, which I don't think that everyone in this line is just taking a shit. But unless you're taking a shit, hustle. Let's go.
Let's go. Yep.
You were just out here. It's like, don't forget where you came from, okay? We all got to pee out here. And you just go and you just take your time. Oh, it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad to a point where I'm like, when I'm in a bathroom line and I get into my stall, I'm like, I have a civic duty to get
Yeah.
this done in
Yeah.
less than a minute.
Yep.
Less than a minute.
It's
Go.
like people forget that they were once on the outside of the stall. And as soon as they get inside the stall, they go, I'm rich now. I don't care about poor people.
Never forget your roots. Stay humble and hustle. Okay. Like, my pants are off before the doors even shut behind me, usually. Like, I'm
Mhm.
definitely unbuttoning them, you
Yep.
know? And I'm on the toilet. I'm peeing as fast as I'm pushing. I'm peeing as fast as I can, like a friggin' rocket, you know? And if all of a sudden I get like the kind of the thought that I might need to go poop, I go, no, not here.
Not now.
Later.
Yeah.
Not now. There are people counting on me. And
An
I
American
don't take that
hero.
lightly. Yeah. So I'm throwing, if you go slow, heed my warning. Because I won't do anything, but I'll give you a dirty ass look.
Oh, and you don't want that. Nothing
Yeah.
is colder than when the sun does not shine on you, and it used to. From Cassandra.
Wow.
Nothing is.
Just got a live trash, why I'm trash, from Taylor, who's currently boarding a plane. He just took a picture of a Target bag that he's holding saying my carry-on. So if you're in the Phoenix airport, and you saw a really tall man with a Target bag in the airport, I married him. The people can find me.
Yeah.
At Cass Cardenas on Instagram. That's about it right now. You know, I still have a Twitter, but I don't use it. I am unverified on Instagram, and I am proud of that. And where can the people find you?
They can find me at Iconic Erica Curry, where I'm trying to give the people content. I'm trying to get it out there. I'm on TikTok as well at Iconic Erica Curry. And you can find this podcast at Trashy Trashy Pod on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also find the new, allegedly spelled correct shirt in our merch store, which is trashytrashypodcast.threadless.com, or at our website, trashytrashypodcast.com, where there is a tab to the merch store itself. And buy a correctly spelled allegedly shirt. Show your support. Let people know what you're listening to.
Or one of our other many wonderful shirts. I shout out to my cousin who says that the Shout Out Ashley shirt is his favorite shirt to wear to the gym. And he bought that one specifically, and a sticker, because he thinks my friend Ashley is hot.
Hell yeah. I think she's hot too.
Ashley is hot. What can we do? What can you do? Sue me. She's hot.
All right, Cass, stay garbage.
You stay garbage, girl.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.